I just pointed a free, open-source AI at a real production code base, and in 11 minutes it found 3 vulnerabilities that a $52 a month paid scanner completely missed. It's called VulnHunter. Capital One released it yesterday, and I think it's the most useful free security tool of 2026. But it has one serious problem, and if you install it without knowing about it, you're going to have a bad week. Quick context. VulnHunter is an AI-powered vulnerability scanner that Capital One, yes, the bank, just open-sourced. The pitch: it reads your code the way an attacker would, and flags exploitable flaws before hackers find them. Now, Capital One knows this pain personally. They lived through one of the biggest breaches in banking history back in 2019. So this isn't a research toy. This is a tool built by a company that got burned and decided to build the fire alarm. It's free, it's on GitHub, and it runs locally. So what does it actually do? I tested it on a mid-sized Python and JavaScript repo, about 40,000 lines. Setup took me 9 minutes, mostly waiting on dependencies. The scan itself ran in 11 minutes and returned 14 findings. Here's what impressed me: unlike traditional scanners that pattern match against known bad code, VulnHunter uses an LLM layer to reason about data flow. It caught an SQL injection path that only triggers when two functions interact, something rule-based tools like semgrep structurally can't see. It also writes a plain English explanation for every finding, including a suggested fix. For a junior developer, that alone is worth the install. Head-to-head against SNYK's paid tier, SNYK found 11 issues, VulnHunter found 14, with 3 unique catches. Overlap was about 70%. Now the flaw nobody's mentioning: false positives. Of my 14 findings, 4 were noise code paths that looked exploitable but weren't reachable in production. That's a 29% false positive rate, versus roughly 15% from SNYK in my test. On a huge codebase, that noise compounds fast, and an AI confidently explaining a vulnerability that doesn't exist is genuinely dangerous. It erodes your trust in the real findings. Also worth noting, it's strongest in Python, JavaScript, and Java. My Go results were noticeably weaker. So who's this for? If you're a solo dev, a startup, or a small team currently paying nothing for security scanning, install this today, full stop. Free, local, and better than nothing by a mile. If you're already paying for SNYK or using GitHub Advanced Security, VulnHunter is a supplement, not a replacement. Run it as a second opinion, because those 3 unique catches were real. Who it's not for: teams that need compliance reporting, SOE2 evidence, or CI/CD grade stability. It's version 1.0 of an open-source project. It will break. And do not treat its output as gospel. Verify every finding before you file a ticket. Your one actionable takeaway: go to GitHub right now, search Capital One VulnHunter, and run it against one repo, your most important one. Even if it only finds one real issue, that's one issue a hacker doesn't find first. Total time investment, about 20 minutes. That's it, a free tool from a bank that beat paid scanners on raw catches, held back by a false positive problem you can manage if you know it's there. Subscribe for daily AI intel, and drop a comment. What tool do you want me to cover next?